Who's the best player in the NBA?
Kobe Bryant.
Better than you?
I would have to say right now. He's a really, really good player. Individually, he has some of the best skills that the NBA has ever seen in history. And he's shown year after year after year why he continues to be one of the best players in our league. I'm getting better.
Cleveland this past week. So let me ask both of you. Kobe, you start. Tell me how you see LeBron's game developing after just going up against him this week.
I mean, he's an incredible player. I think, his size and, he's meshed with his quickness and his leaping ability, his passing ability, his shooting ability. I think he's a tremendous all-around player.
LeBron, how's Kobe doing these days?
Well, like I've been quoted in the past and I will continue to be quoted, I think he's the best player in our league right now. What he's able to do offensively and defensively is, it's unbelievable. And I look up to a guy like Kobe Bryant just because of what he's able to do every night he goes out on the basketball court. So once again, I'm quoted again saying that Kobe Bryant is the best player in our league.
If you have an opportunity to keep Bynum, and you can get D Wade and a Bosh and Lala, and on the other hand, you're Pat Riley, and the mission is to close, and you've got LeBron James here who needs to be taught how to become a killer. Is there a better teacher than the Black Mamba? The Black Mamba in South Beach? Because you got to remember, he is in Hollywood, and he's a 5-time champion. So if he went Hollywood, it's completely justified because he's got the credentials and the cachet to validate it. But he's still focused, ain't he? Every year, L.A., right down the block, and he's still focused. Could you imagine what that boy would do with LeBron James? It's something to think about, and that's all I got to say.
That's all? After you blew the rundown completely to bits? we're 7 topics down the list now.
Provocative, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. It was quite a speech you just made. Dwayne Wade and LeBron are just too good of friends. They are just too close for their own good. There's way too much of, I'm going to get you yours, and I want you to be this, and I want you to be that, to a fault. They're very, truly, genuinely close friends.
And that is why I'm going to turn you to my mode of thinking on this, Davis. Because we all know one thing. Kobe don't have that problem.
He does not have that problem with anybody.
Let me tell you something Let me tell you something right now. If LeBron shows up in South Beach with Kobe Bryant as a teammate, and for some reason he shrinks beneath the spotlight, he will hate Kobe. Because Kobe's going to come at him. He's going to come at him. He's going to come at him.
Here's my question.
He's going to come at him.
Here's my
he's a
concern
grown
about
man.
your deal. And I like your deal because it could be one of those classic good trades for both teams.
Both teams.
Yeah, but here's my problem. You say Kobe can close, but is his window closed?
No.
Is it closed?
Absolutely
I don't know.
You answer that.
I'm scared about it. I don't know.
He looked pretty good health-wise.
Let me tell you something right now. Kobe on his own has a legit 2 years left in him at this level. But with LeBron, you can double that.
All right, that's fair.
Because it's LeBron.
But don't bring me that Kobe will teach him the unteachable because you cannot learn the clutch gene. I've said it a million times. You just can't. LeBron will be he'll go chosen one to frozen one. It would be up to Kobe to do what Dwayne Wade has not been able to do so far.
I'm going to say this to you. Completely different position. Doesn't even equate. But wasn't an accident that Andrew Bynum elevated this year. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, when Kobe, you got somebody that can get it done.
Okay.
That's in your face about what you need to do. Jordan with Pippen. Pippen, what was he when he first came into the league?
Thank you. I've been saying he's not a top 50 player.
He had the migraine headache.
He's not a top 50 player.
He had the migraine headache in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 1987 when Jordan's on a bus and his late father, God rest his soul, is busy hugging his son and Jordan is crying, talking about when we going to get over the hump, when we going to get over the hump. And Scottie Pippen had let him down. And all of a sudden they came back and they started steamrolling over everybody. Why? Because Jordan elevated Pippen. It can be done. It can be done. It can be done.
You realize what you just admitted.
It doesn't matter.
Scottie Pippen is not a top 50 player. Thank you.
Just because Jordan elevated.
I don't think he said
yes, he did.
No, I didn't. Just because Jordan elevated Pippen doesn't mean Pippen's not there. He still got there.
No,
he still got there.
Sorry. What we've seen now, period, end of story. LeBron James was made for the regular season. He's a regular season dynamo. He's made for our Sports Center plays of the night because he's always number one in the regular season. But come postseason time, he's the most overrated, overhyped superstar in my history in this business. Seriously. That's my bottom line to this discussion.
I will take LeBron James all day, every day, and twice on Sundays for the first 46 minutes. But with the game on the line, It's a whole bunch of players that I would take ahead of LeBron James. I have religiously stated for the first 46 minutes, I'll take LeBron James over almost anybody in the world all time, with the exception of maybe Jordan. And even that is a maybe. The problem is that when you get to that money time, that clutch, where you sit up there and everything breaks down and you grab the ball and you say, here, take me to the promised land. LeBron is not somebody that's going to be on that list.
Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, Skap Attack versus Gilbert Arenas. It came up on my YouTube feed, and they were debating on FYF channel. So let me say this first before we get into this. No disrespect against Skap. I love his channel. He makes great content, and I said this before. This guy should have 100,000 subs already. I mean, he's definitely top 5 in the sports community at what he does. But to me, I lost a lot of respect for him when he went on FYF channel. You know, I don't like him debating Gilbert Arenas anyways. But it wasn't so much that, and we'll talk about Gilbert Arenas in a minute, and how he's just a clown and how he's a liar and everything else. But for Skap to go on FYF channel, FYF Sports Debates, this clown, for him, this guy is like a Gilbert Arenas too. These guys literally lie for money. They lie for money. Yes, they will bring you some half-truths, but their whole basis on making money is flat out lying, dissing past players of the NBA to lift a 4 and 6 loser who has did everything wrong in his career. Everything wrong. Okay? So that's my only bone with Skap Attack. Okay? Like, are you doing this for money? Are you doing this for views? To sell your channel and to promote your channel? That's what I'm gonna say about that. I mean, I still have respect for him. I'm always watching his channels, but to me, it was like, I'm real. I'm not making any money off of YouTube. I'm not monetized. I want to say what I want to say. I'm not going to be held back against the things I say. That's reality. And it's the same reason why I didn't go on Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best. I love his channel. I, find myself watching it like, just about every weekend. But when he brought on FYF, Sports Debate, whatever this guy's real name is, I really don't care because he's a liar. And he brought on Gilbert Arenas, which is another liar, right? Another liar. I was just done. I couldn't. These people are making this more about money than reality, than the truth. So when he brought on those two people, I was just like, why though? Why though? These guys are liars. So what's going to happen is when you debate these guys, once they find themselves in a lie, they're going to stack a lie on top of that, and then they're just going to twist it around and turn things around so they can get into another subject and then lie about this and bring up that. This is what these guys do. So I would never debate these guys. I would never even talk to these guys about sports. Now, personally, I don't know who they are in their real lives, if they're good people or not. But as far as, I mean, how could you be a good person or any kind of good person when you're sitting up on your channels and you're lying every single day to make money, right? You're just in the world with these other people that have to lie to make money, right? You're with ESPN, you're with Fox Sports News, you're with all these people who lie basically about the NBA to sell something, to make money. It's not about integrity, it's not about the truth or anything like that. So that's where I am with this. The whole debate, Skap pretty much cooked this guy. He cooked him. He cooked Gilbert Arenas. He cooked whatever the guy's name is on FYF Sports Debate. Those guys got cooked. And the whole debate kind of turned stupid because we're talking about Kobe Bryant's rings with Shaq and how he's a number 2 and all this stuff. And the fact is, we even know about this. When you have Kareem and you have Magic Johnson as top 5 players, and they kind of offset each other in winning championships as far as who was the number 1 guy, it kind of makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're saying that Kobe Bryant can't be in that top 5 because of that, because he was with Shaq. So, and they'll say, oh, well, Kobe didn't win any finals MVPs. Look, here's the facts. And we'll get to why Kobe isn't in my top 5 and why he's better than LeBron James. He's a better player than LeBron James, a greater player than LeBron James, everything like that. But Kobe, let's talk about it right now. We'll talk about it right now. we'll talk about why Kobe. What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about Shaq? I mean, not Shaq. Why Kobe ain't in the top 5 for me, or why he's better than LeBron James? Because both of these to me are really easy. Okay, it's not like no disrespect against any of these players, but when we look at the overall body of work, let's go with why Kobe is better than LeBron James, and that should be obvious. LeBron ain't even in the top 10. The only reason why they promote this guy as number 2 or in the top 10 because the media needs something to sell right now. When LeBron James retires, guess what? The NBA is over, folks. The top 5 players in the NBA are European players or international players, and I have nothing wrong with that. It's the NBA's fault, due to ESPN and Fox Sports, that they're not promoting these guys, right? And they already know what's going on. You know, just like baseball, they brought in all these international players, and they could not sell the game. Right? It's not that these international players aren't great players. They're great players. But they're not of the American culture. And in sports, what we need is not only players being able to hit the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball, kick the ball, whatever like that. We need some type of soap opera. So if you don't have a soap opera in your league, guess what? You're not going to be able to sell the league, okay? When the black players were in baseball, the Doc Goodens, the Darryl Strawberries, the Kirby Pucketts, the Ken Griffey Jr.'s, the Andre Dawsons, the Dave Winfields, all these, y'all think I don't know baseball? I grew up playing baseball. That was my number 1 sport in my heart until they kicked all the black American players out, which was dumb because they could have kept the American black players and they brought in the Latino players and they would have had a super league, but greed conquered all, right, for the MLB, and that's why the ratings declined. And I never watched it. I never watched it again. I'll never watch it again for what they did. But the fact is, you need a soap opera to sell your league. And once LeBron is gone, you have no more soap opera, right? It's like in the MLB, how they kept that alive for a minute, right? The steroid scandal, okay? After the steroid scandal was over, the smoke cleared, and guess what? It's full of international players that can't sell the league. So when LeBron leaves, when the smoke clears, well, we might have a steroid scandal with LeBron James. That's what they better hope for, because nobody's going to care about this NBA when LeBron retires. And it's for better or worse. We're not saying he's selling it on greatness like Michael Jordan or, Magic Johnson or Kareem and Wilt and all this stuff. No, he's selling it on something we never seen, which isn't greatness. Which isn't greatness, folks. So maybe they might have a steroid scandal with LeBron James after he retires, but that's what they're using for LeBron James right now. A whole bunch of antics and nonsense and not winning and a whole bunch of dumb stuff that he says to sell the NBA, right? So you have other fools like Gilbert Arenas and FYS Sports telling you on the other hand, oh, this guy's selling it off of greatness. His greatness, because that's what they sell at ESPN. He's never sold it on greatness. Remember the 2007 NBA Finals? Nobody wanted to see this guy play. Nobody wanted to see this guy play. Who? Lowest rating finals of all time. That wasn't COVID, folks. This was the king coming into the NBA that it was a Skap, you could put out numbers. We could put out real history of this guy coming into the NBA, right? The king, the anointed one, the most hyped. Remember, they said this guy was more hyped than Kareem, Michael Jordan, Hakeem, Magic Johnson, Will, all this, blah, blah, blah. Get the hell out of here, dunking on academy school kids. You can't. What we tell you, in the pros, in the NBA, you're playing the best of college players. In the college, you're playing the best of high school players. Now, who was LeBron playing in high school? Academy school kids, folks. Not killing them with the mid-range, a good free throw shooter, a good three-point shooter. No, folks, dunks and layups. Okay? So LeBron's whole career, when we look at what FYF and what, ESPN, Gilbert Arenas, is fabricated. It's a lie to keep the NBA alive for the last hours, for the last, couple of years, because they know that thing is going down. They don't have nobody else to promote that's going to sell their soap opera. Again, you need a soap opera to sell your league, whether it's the NFL, NBA, all that stuff. It doesn't have to be a bad soap opera. We just need some type of soap opera. And the NBA is done. It's done. It's going to be done with these international players because American people cannot relate to that. And so let's get back to this. So LeBron James, how he's not better than Kobe. And Gilbert Arenas expanded on this, how LeBron James came into the league, right, and took a team that was garbage and made it into something. Really? How's that? He missed his first 2 seasons, missed the playoffs with an all-star teammate his second season by losing 19 out of 31. Let's rewind back to the first season. Didn't make the all-star team. What was it? Didn't make the all-star team. Didn't make the playoffs. Was a minus 144 for the season. Shot like 41% from the field, 20-something% from three. Your regular, 72% from the line. 3.5 turnovers. He took a team and did what? finally makes the playoffs in 2006 when he does what? They take out defense, folks. And why they take out defense? Because they seen in 2004, the King couldn't even get on the floor against international plumbers, Manu Ginobili, who was a six man, and the Argentinians without one melanated brother on that team. He was so bad, they wouldn't even let him play on the floor. Remember, he's supposed to be coming in the league better than Kareem, Wilt, Magic, Jordan, Bird, all these players that came in the league. Duncan, he's supposed to be the best player. Remember, this is 2003. So players are supposed to evolve and get better, folks. What's the excuse? So yeah, they get the bronze medal. And then we talked about 2006. Okay, he's scoring like, 30 points per game, and 27, 7, and 7, all this nonsense that he does because they cut out defense. And then he blows a 3-2 lead going back home to the Pistons. Now, he wasn't supposed to win, so we can't say he choked, but he did melt down when we look at those stats in games 6 and 7, right? Game 6 and 7, go look at them stats. So he melted down then, and yeah, okay, he wasn't supposed to win, but he did take a 3-2 lead going back home, and he lost both games after that. That summer, he goes to the FIBA, and he's got Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, Chris Bosh, all these dudes that are playing high level. I think Wade's coming off a championship, and they don't even get first place or second place and got beat in the silver medal round. Who was that? By these plumbers from Greece. This is the career so far leading up to 2006 that Gilbert Arenas is saying that this guy was on Kobe's heels in that debate. Are you kidding me? We're talking about 2006. 2007, we just talked about, he makes it to the finals, beating a Gilbert Arenas team that only won half of their games, was a 500-win team. I think Gilbert, didn't he get hurt that series or something? I'm not sure. I thought that's what it was, where they was missing one of their guys. Another team, 500-win team, and then beat, we all know about this, the Detroit team without Ben Wallace. We give him his credit for whatever it was in the weakest East since the 1950s. We still haven't found how he just came into this league, like Gilbert Arenas said, and turned a team around like Kobe wasn't able to do when Shaq left. Okay, so he goes to the finals, and the biggest finals meltdown of any superstar. Forget about 2011. You can stop it, folks. Stop it, folks. 22 points per game. He shot like 35%, almost 6 turnovers, 69% from the line. If it was 68, and your regular brick it up from the 3-point line, what was it, like 31%? Some crap like that. No, he didn't choke because he wasn't supposed to win, but he melted down. Now, I keep trying to tell you guys, I speak different on this channel. That's when the NBA was in big trouble. The King, the Anointed One, all this stuff makes it to the finals, beating nobody in the East, and everybody knew that. All real NBA fans knew that. Like, this guy just beat nobody, going to the finals, and in some of those playoff series games, he was carried, right? So he gets to the finals, and he does that, folks. The NBA was in big trouble because it wasn't like Michael Jordan in '86 at 22 years old saying, okay, you got 3 top 75 players on the Boston team and a Hall of Fame player against me. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put up 63, 49, and I think he put up 19 in one game, set an all-time record, do all this stuff, and show the world, I ain't got no team, but this is what it's going to take to beat me, okay? That ain't what LeBron James did. He didn't say, okay, San Antonio is better, but this is what you're going to need to beat me. No, folks, he didn't do that. The NBA was in big trouble at that time, and nobody wanted to see the King. When we look at the finals ratings at that time, the lowest of all time. Could you imagine Michael Jordan at 22 years old being in the finals? And the ratings were the lowest in NBA finals history. First of all, Michael Jordan wouldn't be in the finals at 22 or 23 or 24 because you're playing real competition in the 80s, folks. There's no way. Again, this guy went to the finals without no all-star teammate, no Hall of Fame teammate, no top 75 teammate, no all-NBA teammate, no all-NBA defensive teammate. Is you ready for me? I'm going to give it to you harder than what Skap gave it to Gilbert Arenas. Because to me, y'all making this about money? Because we're about to kick some real facts here, folks. We're about to kick some real facts. That's real history, okay? So he went to the finals without all that help. So when they say he didn't have no help, they were right. But he didn't play nobody. And it would be impossible in the 80s, the 90s, the 60s, the 70s to go to the NBA finals as a superstar with no all-NBA teammate, no all-star teammate, no Hall of Fame teammate, no all-NBA defensive teammate, no nothing. And I know we can't say Hall of Fame, but I'm just saying future Hall of Fame. It was a weak era, folks. The NBA was in big trouble. Not only did this guy was playing in the weakest East of all time, but he melted down, right? 2008, he plays those same Celtics, right? I mean, not Celtics, not the same Celtics, but the super team Celtics that only won the Eastern Conference one time, won the conference one time, and they were together like 6 years or whatever like that. He took them to a game 7, folks. This is coming off the 2000, and we'll rewind that in a minute because I got to talk about something in 2007. But he took that Boston team to a game 7, folks. A game 7. You know what he shot? It was like under 40%, the same-ish, like 3.5 turnovers, 60-something% from the line. It was ridiculous. It was just like the NBA Finals again. In 2007, yes, he averaged more points, but it was the same nonsense, and he was able to take that super team, Boston team, to a game 7, playing like that, folks. So apparently, what we can say is that Boston team wasn't all that good, and that he got carried, being that he got to a game 7, right? So when we rewind back a little bit, 1 year before in 2007, Kobe shows up, and what happens? They're in awe of Kobe. They're drooling all over him, his work ethic, his all this, and blah, 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 right? Kobe brings home the gold in the FIBA. Remember, this is a guy that they left for dead, Kobe Bryant, for this guy who has did nothing in the league up to that point but play in a weak East. And not to mention all the trades he had got leading up to 2007, he basically got a whole bunch of other teams' number 2 guys, whether they were defensive guys or offensive guys. He didn't get no guys out of draft and carry them and teach them how to play and develop them or nothing like that. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So Kobe brings home that gold in the FIBA. And we went through 2000 because that's going to be a little bit what we're going to talk about why Kobe is way better than LeBron James. It ain't even close, amongst other things. So in 2009, okay, he's still playing in that weak East. Yes, Boston is a little bit of a threat or whatever like that. A team that he took to game 7 with a bunch of nobodies the year before. 2009, we know what happened. He wins the league MVP for playing in a weak East. Remember, Kobe's out there battling lions and tigers, and this dude is battling ants that he's just stepping on in the Eastern Conference. Nothing, right? He putting up his 27, 7-7, and we talked about this. 27 points is great. It's not upper echelon. 7 rebounds for his position is not good, it's not great, and it's not upper echelon. Okay, great would be about 9 rebounds. Upper echelon would be 10 plus. Okay, 10 or 10 plus. Assists, 7 assists is good. It's not great or upper echelon. So he put up his 27, 7-7. That's what he does. He controls the ball. He tries to act like this fake Magic Johnson in this new touch era that he's playing in that don't cater to him because he really ain't got no handles and he ain't got no paint work and he can't shoot the 3. He can't give you no mid range. I mean, so he can bull charge the lane, right? In this new no touch era that Gilbert Arenas is a part of to sell this NBA and what's left of it. Let's be real. Okay, so he can make a little money, although he's supposed to make tens of millions of dollars. But you got tens of millions of dollars, but you're out here lying. Okay, this is crazy, man. This will tell you what money makes people like snakes and fakes and all this other stuff. That's how the world runs. So he loses, number 1 seed overall in the entire playoffs. Had the number 1 seed in the best record in the entire NBA and loses to who? The Magic. Oh, the Magic. Okay. That same Magic team goes on to beat who? Boston. After they beat LeBron James, they went on to beat Boston. Right? The troubling Boston team that LeBron can't beat, right? The Magic beat them in 2009. So LeBron gets beat by a number 3 seed and don't even shake Dwight Howard's hand, just walks off the court. And so the next season, he wins the MVP again, has the number 1 overall seed in the entire NBA, right? It's supposed to beat Kobe. This was a matchup in 2009. This was 2010, and we all know why he didn't show up. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we got evidence on that. In common sense. So he melts down to Boston in the infamous games 4, 5, and 6 that, what's the name? Skip always talks about. He loses to that Boston team that just lost a year before to that Orlando Magic team. And we remember the next day on 1st and 10, Skip goes off on him. We've seen all these videos. I put them all out. But Skip talks about, he says in the beginning of that season that he was going to wear the number 6 the next season. So it was already premeditated that he was going to Miami. And guess what was also premeditated? That he didn't want to face Kobe in the finals, folks. Because if he lost, the GOAT debate will be over. It will be over. Even though we all the way to 2010, and I'm talking, what GOAT debate does this guy have? What GOAT debate is it? So he loses, and then he goes and plays in Miami, taunts the whole league, not one, not two, not three, all this stuff, shows up at the Boys and Girls Club, makes this announcement, and we remember when he says, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. You can hear the children in the background go, oh, right? Because they couldn't believe probably the second best player behind Kobe Bryant, a back-to-back MVP winner, would cheat, would leave his team, and do all this stuff to build a super team in Miami, right? And we already heard the footage, right? Dwayne Wade even said it. They got together because Kobe was winning all the championships, right? So we ain't gonna go too far in this because this just ends the whole GOAT debate. I told you guys before, his career was over right in the beginning of his prime, and that's what we're talking about right here. We know about 2011. We just talked about that. He goes to Miami. He does all those antics or whatever like that. Couldn't be. This is supposed to be the GOAT in the face of the future of the league. That's supposed to be taking the baton, or what you want to call the torch, from Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant ain't doing none of this stuff. Okay? The antics that LeBron James is doing. So we all know what happens. He can't even get the number 1 seed with this super team. With Wade, Bosh, all these guys are top 5 players in the East and top 10 players in the NBA. Imagine Michael Jordan playing with these guys, Ewing and Barkley, and just gave up after 1990 and said, I'm gone. See you later, Pippen. But we ain't gonna win. I gotta go, bro. You getting these headaches, you getting knocks on your head, you can't keep playing. My team is shooting poor from the field. When I play the Pistons, they're a super team. They got Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas, Robin. They're beating the hell out of me. I'm going to build a super team. So will Michael Jordan be in some kind of GOAT debate? Not only if he built a super team, he goes and taunts the league. He says it at the Boys and Girls Club. Then he goes to the finals and he loses. Can't even get the number 1 seed with Ewing and Barkley as teammates, and loses with them folks. When is this GOAT debate going to start? I don't understand. Where's it at? I would have put it on Gilbert Arenas. I would have destroyed this guy. Who cares about who Kobe played with in this year and that year? And I would have destroyed Gilbert Arenas. That's why I say, is this thing about money and views and all this stuff? Because let's get down to the reality. And then he was back-to-back MVPs after that with a super team. What's going on here, folks? That makes no kind of sense. And again, I forget what, I think it was 12. They did have the number 1 seed. 13 they didn't. 14 they didn't. So 4 years in Miami, only won 2 championships, blown off the floor by a record margin in 2014. Like I said, 4 years, only had the number 1 seed. Needed Ray Allen hit a last-minute shot because LeBron bricked the shot because he can't shoot. He bricked the 3, and Bosh got the rebound and kicked it out to Ray Allen. So all that's over. Supposedly those guys are hurt, no good. Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, even though they keep making all-star teams after he leaves. I don't get it. And he goes and he teams up with the up-and-coming Kyrie Irving, the all-star, won the 3-point contest, was a first-round pick. We know what Kevin Love was. Both of these are well, we'll get into that in a minute overall. But there are other teams' number 1 franchise players, Curry and Love. And, the first season, he makes it to the finals. In a weak East, I'm talking about that people are starting to run away from this NBA. A super team builder, keep making it back to the finals, and not even winning the damn East. Not even winning the conference, and he's making it to the finals. Where, of course, Kyrie gets hurt the first game. But they won a second game with, I think, was it the second game without Kyrie? Or no, the first game without Kyrie. So he takes a 2-1 lead going back home, and we all know it's history, right? Iguodala shuts him down, and don't give me his stats. Give me about, he shot under 40%, like 39% from the field. He had a whole bunch of turnovers, like 3.5 or more a game. Shot lousy from the line, shot lousy from the 3, all this stuff. Another bad finals. 2016 with his super team again. Where we at? They're down 3-1. Why are they down 3-1 to a team who assembled a team, right? Organically. Go look at Klay Thompson's his accolades and Draymond Green's accolades going into that 2016 finals. They're really pretty much non-existent, folks. We don't even know who these players are, really. Yes, Curry just won back-to-back MVPs. Why is he winning MVPs in the back-to-back MVP on LeBron James, right? Why? What is going on, folks? So they get the 3-1 comeback. Nobody knows why they're down 3-1 in the first place. And whatever, we'll give it to him. But Kyrie hit the last shot because LeBron was scared to take the last shot like he always does because he's going to break it up. Or he don't want to shoot free throws if he goes down the lane or whatever like that. So Kyrie hits that shot. He gets another ring on somebody else's back because Kyrie is averaging 29 points per game. 2007, Kyrie outplayed Curry. It was about even with Kevin Love and Klay and Draymond and J.R. Smith. Right? The only thing wasn't even was Durant outplayed LeBron. And LeBron couldn't shut down skinny, frail, hungry Kevin Durant. And don't get mad because Kevin Durant won up LeBron, because LeBron built 2 super teams before Kevin Durant built 1. He just out super teamed them, folks. He just out super teamed them. Come on, let's stop. Is LeBron better than Kevin Durant? Yes. Is Curry better than Kyrie? Yes. Is Clay better than Love? No. So this whole thing is even. It's a wash, but LeBron James couldn't come through. Why it was in 2018 finals, nobody knows, other than it was a weak East. And let's cry tears because he got there and he got swept. Why were you there if you couldn't even win 1 game? Okay? Do a Michael Jordan, okay? Put up 41, put up 45. And you should be able to put up 45 in this soft week era, right? Get the ball to a point guard and stop trying to be this fake Magic Johnson and get in there and get your rebounds and put up crazy stats. And that's what he could have did in 2017 when he had Kyrie Irving, right? But he's too busy trying to be this fake Magic Johnson. If you're going to be a Magic Johnson, give me 10 plus assists. You need to give me 10 plus rebounds and go out there and show up and show out and stop getting garbage points off of dunks and layups. So he got swept in 2018. He shouldn't even been there. But the East is so weak, he didn't even have to win that conference again. He was with Cleveland 4 times with that super team, only won the conference 1 time. Okay, we know about the bubble. If you want to count that as a ring, are you serious? Against Miami when everybody was sick and dying? And you might have had the top 5 player in the league at the time? So where's the GOAT debate for LeBron James? Not to mention, I said I was going to come back and say it, he's never won a championship as a number 1 or playing in his hometown. I don't care about Cleveland. He left Cleveland. That's not his team anymore. Never playing on his own team. Don't give me the Lakers. He left. No, Lakers is not his real home, folks. It's not his real home. There was other players that was already there that was on that 2020 championship team, right? That won the championship with them. So that was their home. That was the place they was in. He came to somebody else's home again. It's ridiculous, man. So as far as Kobe Bryant, we don't even have to go back to the Shaq years. Let's just forget about that. Let's go back to 2007 when Kobe brought home the gold in a FIBA, right? The next season, he goes where? He goes to the finals. Yes, he loses, but he gets to the finals without Shaq as the number 1 guy. Shaq was the number 2 with Dwayne Wade. The next season, what happens? Well, he is back in the finals waiting for LeBron James, but LeBron James wasn't there, and Kobe had to defeat the team that beat LeBron James, right? Right? So we went from 2007, I'll skip one. Went 2007, brought home gold because LeBron and his era guys kept getting beat by plumbers. And then 2008, went to the finals. Yes, he lost, but at least he went there and without Shaq. And I think Biden was hurt, but we ain't going to make no excuse. That summer, Kobe brings home the gold because the LeBron era guys couldn't beat plumbers. Okay, they couldn't do it. Remember, this was Kobe. They left him for dead. Okay, why would they need Kobe if Gilbert Arenas is saying that this guy is better than LeBron is better than Kobe, right? So we know about 2009. He's waiting for LeBron James. He never shows up, so he has to beat LeBron James' team that beat him, the Magic. So now he does win the championship. 2010, when LeBron James again was the MVP. Has the number 1 overall record in the NBA. LeBron doesn't show up because he loses to the almighty Boston Celtics that just got beat by the Magic a year before, and Kobe beats them right in the Game 7, a grueling Game 7, beating 3 top 75 players, winning back-to-back with only 1 top 75 guys. Well, what are we talking about? So at what point did LeBron James jump Kobe? I don't understand. And not to mention, how many videos did I put out? From all the way into the 2000s, the early 2000s, the middle of the 2000s, and the end of the 2000s, they were on record 3 different times, Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant never said LeBron James was the best player in the league. And every time LeBron James said Kobe Bryant is the best in the league. Because of what? Because of his skills. And he was talking about offense, defense, and leadership, folks. That's what LeBron James was talking about. What are we talking about? We're talking about a fake NBA that was manufactured for LeBron James in the early 2000s, but could never come through. And he knew he didn't want to come through to face Kobe Bryant in those finals because Kobe Bryant was going to destroy this guy. Not because he didn't like him. They were best friends, right? And he already knew. He already knew Kobe was going to make a fool out of this guy. It just ain't even close. Yes, he can grab some, more rebounds. You're only grabbing 7 rebounds or more assists. Do you see this guy running the floor like Magic Johnson or Jason Kidd or John Stockton, or did I say Magic Johnson? Real point guards, no, folks. He just always got the ball in his hand to make a decision. If he doesn't, see, it was going to be at the 3-point line. If he doesn't charge the lane and do dunks and layups, what's going to happen? He's going to kick it out to all those 3-point shooters that's behind the 3-point line. That's all that's going to happen, and that's all that's ever happened in this guy's career, right? He went to go lift weights. Who goes and lift weights unless they're going to be playing against all-time great big players in the paint, like in the 90s or the 80s or whatever like that? This guy never played in the paint. No, he went to go lift weights and get bigger so he can bull charge the lane and do dunks and layups, right? It's ridiculous. So yeah, Kobe solidified himself as where you want to put him, okay? He's over LeBron James. In my book, it's not even close. The sequence that he did from 2007 all the way until 2010 in LeBron's face, while helping LeBron bring home gold, while going to the finals, while LeBron was winning the MVP and was the #1 overall seed, it was over. He'd never do what Kobe did in those years, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Never. And he never has did it, folks. And like we said, LeBron went and crawled the super teams after that because he knew he could never be a leader in league teams. All he could ever do was be a face of a team and be amongst other #1s that led a team to a championship. That's it. And leave his home while doing it. You guys like a gypsy. So look, you know, you guys might get offended by this. And where's this thing at? Oh, here it is. And this is why I can't put Kobe Bryant in my top 5. He comes in about number 6 for me, but I'm gonna read off this, right? Okay. And to me, he started out his career late. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if he would have went to the Hornets, you know, he would not have been coming off the bench. It was a tougher era back then. So he had to come off the bench. He was coming out of high school. LeBron would be a joke in the 90s. So, and we got to remember, also to Skap's point, well, he didn't make this point, but, you know, me defending him, we got to remember, when they talk about Shaq or whatever like that, carrying Kobe, we can remember back in every time when Kobe Bryant came into the league, they said this was the next Michael Jordan. It wasn't a comparison to Michael Jordan like we're doing with LeBron James. This was the next Michael Jordan. He had this type of talent, right? So every time that they would go play from the beginning, whether they played a regular season game or they played an all-star, the whole focus was on Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, that the torch was getting passed to Kobe. This was a bench player, guys. The torch was getting passed to Kobe Bryant. It was crazy. You guys don't understand. This was crazy. How this thing was, it was so big. And guys, the torch wasn't getting passed to, they didn't say the torch was getting passed to Grant Hill or Allen Iverson or Shaquille O'Neal or none of these other up-and-coming great players. It was getting passed to Kobe Bryant, a dude that was coming off the bench. This was crazy. And it was all in Shaq's face. All in Shaq's face. Could you imagine? They saying that Kobe is about to carry this league. He's the next Michael Jordan, and the torch is getting passed to Kobe, all in Shaq's face. Not in 2001, not in 2002. This was in 96, 97, and 98. But let's get back to this. This is why Kobe Bryant, and I was telling you, you know, I think his career, I look at overall career, folks. I don't look at some one-on-one basketball and, you know, just shooting or just defense. No, folks, I look at the entire body of career, and I just don't look at championships neither, right? And LeBron fans say that all the time. You just can't use championships. No, I look at the overall body of work. Okay, so these are my top 5, and we're going to read why they're the top 5 for me. Just hold on for a minute. Don't exit out. I'm gonna show you why. You're gonna see it on your screen or whatever like that. But we got Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain. This is in order. Mike 1, Wilt 2, Kareem 3. I think we got Wilt 4, and then we got Kareem 5. Listen up. Michael Jordan, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 3 steals titles, defensive player of the year. Wilt, 2 championships, 1 finals MVPs, 4 MVPs, 7 scoring titles, 11 rebound titles, 1 assist title. Kareem, 6 championships, 6 MVPs, 2 finals MVPs, 2 scoring titles. I think this is backwards. It's supposed to be, I think, 1 rebound title and like 4 block titles, if I'm not mistaken. Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, 11 championships, 5 MVPs, 4 rebound titles. Now, let me put an asterisk on this real quick, because it is an asterisk. When we talk about Wilt Chamberlain and we talk about Bill Russell, let's be serious. Bill Russell would have at least 3 to 4 defensive player of the years, and he would have What is that other one? Well, we don't have defensive teams on here. No, well, oh, he would 6 Finals MVPs. It would have been nuts. Oh, and he would have had like maybe 5 block titles. I think I say block titles, didn't I? Defensive Player of the Year, block title. So the next guy, number 5, we got Magic Johnson, and we're going to talk about him more in depth in a minute. We got 5 championships, 3 Finals MVPs, 3 MVPs, 4 assist titles, and 2 steals titles. And for Magic Johnson, could you imagine? This guy won 3 Finals MVPs while playing with Kareem and 2 MVPs while playing with Kareem. Well, he won 1 without Kareem, but he won 2 with playing with Kareem. So this is what I'm going to say. This is why I say Kobe started his career late and he can't be in my top 5, because these guys' body of work right here is just insane. And yes, statistical titles mean a lot to me. Not just championships. It's because you're the best in the league out of all those great players, especially when you're winning, statistical titles at your position, whether it's rebounding, block shots, maybe defensive players is any position, assist titles, stuff like that. It for you to be the number 1 person in the league doing those things, it's a lot, folks. Competition back in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s for those positional titles, statistical titles were big, because it was great scorers back then, great passers back then, great rebounders back then, great shot blockers. They were on a different level. So for you to come out number 1, I'm just telling you, folks, I don't have time to go over position by position and tell you who these guys were battling against for these statistical titles. But as an NBA fan that knows the NBA historically, you should know it was a lot of greatness back then. So to me, Kobe can't make that top 5 because these guys have a overall better career body of work. Okay, they just do. Statistical titles, championships, MVPs, Finals MVPs. They just have a better body work than Kobe Bryant. They just do. Now, if you would tell me, well, you really can't say that. You can't tell me that Kobe Bryant is a better player than these guys when you look at their statistical titles. Can we look at some of these guys? Were Kobe a better scorer than Michael Jordan or Wilt Chamberlain? Was he a better rebounder than Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, or Kareem? Or you could even put Kareem up there in the scoring. What about a defender when we're talking about, block shots or steals titles or defensive player of the year? Most of these guys you can't put Kobe up against because they got the statistical titles to show it. Maybe not Magic Johnson, but Magic Johnson, let's face it, Magic Johnson has 2 steals titles. That's crazy in the era with all these great defensive players at the perimeter. It's nuts to think about. And you guys I can't use what Skap is using. Oh, he beat more 50-win teams. That's his era. That's his era. A lot of those players couldn't play in the 90s, or if they could, or the 80s, or if they could, maybe they might not even be as good. Okay, let's face it, the 2000s competition was not better than the 90s competition or the 80s competition. It just wasn't in the East or the West. And the East it's a total fail. So the competition really hits the gutter when we talk about the East competition in the 2000s. Now, am I saying Kobe, whatever? Kobe had the 90s mentality. Duncan had the 90s mentality. Kevin Garnett had the mentality. A lot of these guys that stopped LeBron from winning, or LeBron was scared to play in the finals, it was a reason why. Bruce Bowen had the 90s mentality. Even Dirk Nowitzki had the 90s mentality. Yes, he didn't play all through the 90s, and he came in 99 or whatever like that, 98. But still, like I told you guys before, even if you played 1 year in the 90s, 2 years in the 90s, 3 years in the 90s, guess what? You still played college in the 90s, so you still had a 90s mentality. And you played high school definitely in the 90s, so you had that 90s mentality of how the game was played in the 90s. Why LeBron James couldn't really take that 90s mentality? Because he was playing in academy school against nobody, right? And he didn't go to college. He didn't get to develop his game or nothing like that. That's why he failed so much. He couldn't ever lead a team to a championship without building super teams. And he still didn't do it with a super team. So, I got many videos, and I hate to keep saying this. Oh, let me take up for Kobe. It shouldn't even be like that, folks. I got many videos about Kobe Bryant. I got many videos about Kobe Bryant, how he's better than LeBron James. But the overall body of work of what these guys did, Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, who was it? Kareem, Bill Russell, and Magic Johnson, Kobe don't stack up to that. Because a lot of people, I keep saying this, stop using this one-on-one argument. You can't do that because these guys play positional basketball, and at their position, guess what? They were all-time great at their position. All-time great at their position, and their statistical titles show it, folks. You can't get past that. Can't get past that. Can't get past that, folks. It's just the way it is, okay? And LeBron James, he will be out the top 10 when he retires, if not the top 25, man. They're going to turn on this guy so fast because they're going to need an NBA to sell. They don't have the NBA ratings are horrible now, even with them promoting his shenanigans, which is the only thing keeping it alive. And when I tell you guys that, everybody's waking up and talking about who LeBron James, what LeBron's, and I'm not trying to say I'm not guilty of it, but the only time people can get, I look at people's views on their channel. I'm not trying to say this is the only time they can get views, but their highest views is LeBron James. A dude who did it right. I mean, a guy who didn't do it right. A guy with very little skill set, folks. Can't shoot the three, can't shoot the mid-range, can't give you no paint work. A fake Magic Johnson, a poor rebounder, super team hopper, flops around, taunts the NBA when he goes team to. The only thing he didn't taunt the league when he went back to Cleveland. Yes, he did. He had a whole ceremony and everything to the Cleveland fans. A whole damn ceremony, folks. Sure, he didn't say not one, not two, and he didn't even have the nerve. Not that he had to taunt him. He didn't even bring Kyrie or Love to that ceremony that he had. That's crazy. I didn't see him. Did you see him? Go watch that again. It was all about him telling the fans that he's coming back for them. What? No, if he was coming back for them, you wouldn't go build a super team. And this guy is so deficient in his game that he always has to add a third wheel. He just can't, I'm going to play with Wade. Nope, he got to bring Bosh. And then the next year or the next year after that, whatever, he brings Ray Allen. He got so many deficiencies, right? He goes to Cleveland. What? Can't just go play with Kyrie. Nope. He got to bring Love. Or did I say that? What is it? He go play with Wade. He got to bring Bosh, and then he got to bring Allen. Go play with Kyrie. He got to bring Kevin Love. All this stuff, bro. And then you couldn't even make the playoffs. Couldn't even make the playoffs. I don't care if he didn't have AD. There's no reason why you shouldn't be making the playoffs at least when you went to LA. Okay? But now he's going to play in a stronger conference, and he sees what's up. So he goes and not only gets AD, right, but he gets Howard, right? A pretty good defensive player back then. Wasn't all NBA or nothing like that, but that was the reason why he was able to beat Joker, because he had two twin towers in the middle, right? So I don't know what else to say. I would destroy Gilbert Arenas in a debate because I can go year by year by year and destroy this guy. I know his whole career by memory, and that's not because I want to hate on that guy, because I was a fan of LeBron James. But I don't know, what was it, about 5 years ago, whatever like that, these sports debate groups on Facebook, I saw them just, and it's not even like they have any real evidence to put LeBron James over Michael Jordan. It's more comical, or put him in the GOAT debate, or the stuff that they say is more comical than anything real. So when I used to go in these debate groups on Facebook and I saw this Michael Jordan hate, I said, dang, this is crazy. So I really started to dig into Michael Jordan's numbers, in which I never had to do, because we all seen it on the court. This guy, nobody ever moved like this guy. It was nuts. It's unreal. And you know, I put up something like, you know, his first 9 seasons, I think up until 93. Man, this guy put up crazy numbers. Playoffs, regular season, playoffs, and finals. I put up all his averages and his percentages. They were nuts. And if he never won another championship again, he probably could have been in the top 5. When you look at his numbers, you know, and his statistical accolades, his percentages, everything was just like unreal, you know. But when I started digging into LeBron's numbers and basically his year by year career, his numbers, what he did in the playoff games, everything, it was horrible. I couldn't even believe, you know, we kind of sidestepped his career going up to alter the 2000s. Since he first came into the league, 2003 all the way up until 2010, it was, we could say 2011, really, it was a joke. It was a joke. Not to mention, he got blew out by a record margin, a record NBA Finals record margin, however you want to say it, 2 times, 2007 and 2014. No, hold on. No, my fault. It's 2014 and 2018, right? And he's got 2 of the lowest NBA Finals ratings. You think people sitting on the couch with nothing to do, sick, and want to be cheered up? You think they ain't gonna watch Michael Jordan in 2020? They don't. They use this excuse that he was playing Tim Duncan. But yeah, Michael Jordan played the plumber, Utah Jazz, as you know, the LeBron fans like to say. But he set NBA records in back-to-back years in the finals against the Plumbing Crew, right? But you don't want to see Tim Duncan. This was a guy that was going for what his fourth NBA chip, right? His fourth finals. It was going to be like 4-0 or something like that. And nobody wanted to see him, LeBron James, playing Tim Duncan. Nobody wanted to see LeBron James. It wasn't just Tim Duncan. This should have boosted up the ratings that we have Tim Duncan, but because we got LeBron James, that should have brought up the ratings, right? We're seeing the king. We're seeing the next and all this stuff. No, folks, nobody wanted to see this guy. This guy is a media-driven career, whatever like that. Every time we look back in the 2000s, oh, he failed again. He choked again. He melted down again. That's all we heard. Maybe next time. Maybe next. That's all we heard all the way up until 2012. And we put out that video that Stephen A. Smith, when he emerged in 2010 to what I say is Clutch Sports, right? Because he would be the one that come on and, defend LeBron James while Skip was telling the truth about this guy. He would be the LeBron James apologist. But in 2012, in that Boston series, before they even won the championship, they were down like 3. I think they were like down 3-2 in Boston, could close it out. And Stephen A. Smith was proposing that they trade Wade and Bosh to LA and they bring Kobe to Miami. So Stephen A. Smith said this. You guys seen the video. So LeBron James could be taught by Kobe how to be clutch, how to be a winner, and how to be a leader, folks. And this was the guy that Gilbert Arenas said was better than LeBron James. He said this tonight. Already surpassed, was better than Kobe, already passed Kobe just because some MVPs. And this is what Skap, he didn't throw that out there. And he probably couldn't win because you're on FYF Sports debate channel. That they didn't want Kobe Bryant to be the MVP winner because Kobe was going through all that stuff. Everybody, it don't matter what player it was in that league, and it's all through the 2000s, they said Kobe Bryant was the best player in the league because of his defense, his offense, and his leadership. What else do you want? You want a stat line? So you want a stat line. So if you're trying to tell me LeBron James had a better stat line than Kobe Bryant, that's why he was winning the MVPs. Well, I guess Wilt Chamberlain should have won about 10 MVPs. He should have won about 10 MVPs. And then they'll try to say, oh, no, LeBron James, he had the best record in the league. Playing who? Who was he playing, folks? He was playing nobody in the East. He was playing nobody in the East. Nobody. Nobody in the East. And how did he have he was in top 5 in offense and defense in the league, his team was, but he played with a bunch of nobodies. When Ben Wallace was on that team, he got well, you can say what you want about Shaq, and this is what I'm gonna say too in a minute. You got Wally Serbiak over there. You know the whole crew they got over there. Antoine Jameson. That's how they got the best record in the league. He was getting other teams' second best players, and in some instances, best player or on offense, or teams' second best defensive players, right? Because that's all he did all through the 2000s was work those teams around to get these players to take up for his deficiencies. Oh, what was I gonna? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of people say, oh, this don't matter. That's what they're going to say, whatever. But if you go look at LeBron James, from when he came in the league all the way until 2011, he was never the highest paid player on the team. Not to mention, a lot of times, he wasn't even the second highest paid player on the team. It was ridiculous. You have people like Wally Serbiak making more money, El Galskis, Shaq, Ben Wallace, Antoine Jameson. You had these type of guys. What's his name that came over? I forget his name. The defensive guy that came over in 2005-06 when they finally made the playoffs. Oh, I forget his name. He ended up going to the finals with LeBron James. He played on the Wizards with Michael Jordan. He was making more money than LeBron James. Don't give me no rookie contract bullish, because LeBron James at one point was out at rookie contract, okay? And he still wasn't the highest paid player on his team for a long, like I said, until 2012. And I think he was tied with, Chris Bosh as the highest paid player in 2012. Could you imagine Michael Jordan not being the highest paid player on a team until 9 years into his career? Now, granted, he wasn't the highest paid player in the league for a lot of years. I think, I think it was 90, no, it was 10 years. 10 years into his career, he wasn't the highest paid player in the league, yes. But on the team, what does that tell you? They're bringing players over to help LeBron James in the 2000s. Bringing players over to help this guy. Because he's not a leader, because he can't win. And like I said, they kept saying all through the 2000s, especially 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, going into 2012, he needs to get it done. When's he going to be clutch? When's he going to take the torch from Kobe? All this stuff. That's all you heard. But this guy is supposed to be the best player in the league. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I think I pretty much covered everything. We don't have to go back to the Shaq and Kobe years. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different competitive NBA that LeBron James couldn't even play in. Remember, he couldn't even make the playoffs his first 2 seasons. Couldn't even be an all-star. Them early 2000s, 99, and we could even say that. 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. LeBron James ain't doing nothing. You replace LeBron, let's just say at the height of LeBron's career. Let's say, what we said, 21-year-old Kobe, 22 and 23 when he was winning the championships. Let's get LeBron James at 21, 22, and 23 and replace, put him on those Lakers team and take off Kobe Bryant and let LeBron James play on those teams with Shaq. It ain't gonna happen, folks. LeBron can't give you no paint work. He can't shoot free throws. He can't shoot the 3. He can't be a leader when Shaq was out. He can't shoot the mid range. Nothing, folks. They will be ripping him up and down the court. And another thing that Gilbert Arenas pointed out, Shaq was getting triple teamed, quadruple teamed, so they kicked it out to Kobe, and that's why he scored all these points. Well, you gotta score the points. So you're trying to tell me you kick it out to Derek Fisher every time he's gonna score all them points? No, you at least gotta put the ball in the basket. Whether it's a fadeaway, a 3, a mid-range, driving to the basket, you gotta be able to do these things and be crafty and be great at it. You can't be a one-dimensional player like LeBron James and just barrel down the lane. Not even in those days. And don't blame it on Kobe because Shaq couldn't shoot free throws. Yeah, hack a Shaq, foul him, handle. Look, I'll go back and watch all them games because Gilbert Arenas isn't telling the truth. Especially when we go look at the what we say. When we look at those Spurs games, they weren't dribbling him all the time like that. When you look at what was it, the Trailblazers games, they weren't dribbling Shaq like that all the time. It's not Kobe's fault that this guy can't shoot free throws. Again, you got to hit the shots. Just because somebody throws the ball out to you, not to mention, I didn't want to go back to the Kobe and Shaq thing, but let's get real. Everybody knows the NBA Finals was in the Western Conference Finals, and once we got to the finals, how come they didn't triple and double team him? That doesn't make any sense, folks, what he's saying, because it didn't happen all the time. He brought you a couple of pieces of footage. It's a lie. So how come they didn't triple and quadruple Shaq in the finals? Why didn't they do that? Don't give me with the Kimbe Mutombo because they was playing Shaq straight up half the time. And they played 2 more finals series after that. So why weren't they doubling and quadrupling Shaq then? No, folks, this was the facts. In the Western Conference Finals, in those seasons, you have better post players than that played better defense, whether it was the Trailblazers, the Spurs, the Sacramento Kings. You have better post players. And that's why they almost beat them. I think, what was it, like 2 times or something like that out of 3? But when we got to the finals, it was basically no competition, folks, at the center position. Or, at the 4 position. They just dumped the ball down, power forward position. They just dumped the ball down to Shaq, and he just barreled over these guys. He wasn't doing no Hakeem Olajuwon moves or nothing like that, or shooting it like Patrick Ewing in the mid-range. No, he was just barreling over people. So, of course, you're not going to sit there and give the ball to Kobe Bryant on the perimeter. You're just going to give it to Shaq. That's a sure finals win. Sure championship win if you just do that, folks. So Kobe would just sit back and chilling. Yes, it was Shaq's team. And yes, we got to admit, he was a number 1 player because it was his team. But if it wasn't for Kobe, they're not getting to the finals, folks. We never said that for Mike. If it wasn't for Pippen, they weren't going to get to the finals. Never. Yes, Pippen had some good games, but it wasn't like, okay, they shut down Michael Jordan. Throw it to Scottie Pippen. Nope. They could have triple teamed Michael Jordan or double teamed him. No, Michael Jordan could hit the shot from outside. So you really couldn't do that on him that much unless he, came down the lane, tried to block off the lane or something like that. But Mike was too crafty. He was pinpoint precise about what he was going to do. I don't even think he even thought about what he was going to do after. He just did it. And that's what made him so great, because he didn't sit there and dribble the ball, try to do all these things. He just went straight at you. Right? He could decide what kind of move he was going to do while he was going at you, folks. This was crazy. He didn't sit there and, I'm going to calculate and do this. No, he knew if he just went straight at you when he got the ball or shot the ball, whatever he needed to do, you were off balance. Now you're off balance. You don't know how to adjust your feet. You don't know what's coming at you. You don't know how to position yourself. We just never seen nothing like that. Because, again, he just made his move. That's if he was going to the basket, and he could just adjust to how he's going to finish based on his surroundings, right? where the defender is, who's coming at him, blah, blah, blah. This was Michael Jordan. Or he would just pull up, just like that. You'd be like, damn, just pull up and shoot, whatever. You never see a player like that again, folks. You just never see a player like that. And that's about it. You know, I don't dislike Skap Attack, but he lost a little respect for me. For me, it's just a little bit lost. Because what are you trying to prove? You're going to go debate with a liar? How does still be... You guys got to watch that. You're going to debate with a guy who, after you beat him and whoop him and roll over him and smash him, he's just going to keep stacking up lies or change the subject, say all this stupid stuff that makes them... And he don't believe this stuff, folks. He don't believe LeBron is number 2. He's part of selling the NBA, what's left of the NBA that LeBron James has basically destroyed. And you can't blame it all on him, because this is what the media has been making millions, if not billions of dollars with the NBA off of a loser. We never seen this stuff before in the history of sports, let alone the NBA, that a league is promoting a guy like this with very little skill set, did it the wrong way, building super teams, all these antics, all this. We never seen this, folks. It's never existed. And people like, you know, FYF Sports, Gilbert Arenas, Fox, ESPN has made so much money off of lies. It's crazy. People love the NBA. It's kind of like I used to love the MLB, but what they did was, no, you're not going to do that. I grew up on baseball. So you ain't going to kick all American players out, especially black players out, that white players had an 80-year head start and black players still own half the damn records. So they're doing the same in the NBA too. They've been doing it. They kick all the American players out. And, oh, European players, international players are just better. Where's it at? So you not only had to make the league weaker and weaker every year so LeBron James can play and keep playing, but so you can bring these international players in and basically play against no resistance, and people's not dumb, so they stop watching. Okay, so I don't know what. I hope everybody's making their money off of lies or making their money off of these debates and all this stuff. But you got some real truth here, folks. And when no money is involved, guess what? The truth is always going to rise to the top. It's going to rise to the top. Like I said, Skap, I don't know why you would debate this clown, this fool. He's a liar. FYF is a liar. But you know, keep doing your thing. You're doing good work. I mean, I know I'm not nobody to you. A lot of these dudes don't even shout me out no more. That's fine. Good. I don't care about that, folks. I don't care about money. I make my own money. So I'm not trying to say everybody here is doing it to make money, because, you know, I listen to certain guys like Uncut Who's, Angry Old Who's Fan, Sports and Fitness Friends, Too Raw for TV, Skap Attack, these Phenomenal Fitness. And I don't believe these guys are doing it for money. But, you know, sometimes when you do stuff like this, what's the point other than money? I'm not trying to say you're making millions or nothing like that, but it's just like, for what? And then I would murder Gilbert Arenas. I would, because my mouth is too big. We're going to have to delve deep into the history of LeBron James and the history of the NBA in facts. And they're all in this video. I might point this at Gilbert Arenas. So you guys tell me what you think.